Have you ever walked into the home of someone well past 70 and felt an immediate sense of calm, as if the very air were gentle and inviting? Perhaps you noticed no piles of clutter on the coffee table, no dishes mounting up in the sink, and an overall tranquility in each corner. You might have assumed they spent hours scrubbing or that they have a hired helper taking care of it all. In reality, many older adults keep their spaces neat and peaceful with minimal strain thanks to 5 daily habits that anchor their routines. These are not elaborate chores meant to exhaust the body or eat up half the day. Instead, they are small guiding principles that, once woven into everyday life, prevent messes from growing overwhelming. If you're around 70, or if you're caring for an older relative, you might be asking whether such effortless tidiness is really possible without a constant battle against dust or clutter. The answer is a resounding yes, if you're open to a gentle shift in how you view your living space. Below, we'll explore how these 5 daily rules can transform your home into a place of ease, allowing you to focus on more meaningful pursuits or simply enjoy your well-earned rest. By the time you finish reading, you may find yourself inspired to try them out, seeing just how manageable it can be to uphold a serene environment in your later years. One of the biggest obstacles that older adults face when it comes to housekeeping is energy management. Bodies that once powered through entire weekends of cleaning might tire more quickly. Knees that once climbed stairs with no complaint can now protest if you keep stepping up and down hauling laundry or rummaging through boxes. Sometime after 70, everything can feel heavier. Brooms, vacuum cleaners, even the simplest tasks like collecting scattered magazines from the living room. So the first rule that neat living elders follow is to break big cleaning jobs into small daily steps. Rather than letting dishes stack for a day or two and then scrubbing through the entire sink at once, they rinse dishes soon after each meal, turning what could have been a tiring chore into a quick routine that takes a fraction of the effort. By dividing chores into bite-sized portions throughout the day, your energy never gets drained in one big push, and you also avoid the discouraging sight of large messes. For instance, after reading the newspaper in the morning, they'll fold it back neatly and place it in a designated spot instead of tossing it aside, letting papers sprawl everywhere. After a light lunch, they might wipe the kitchen counter for 30 seconds so crumbs don't get smeared around when dinner prep begins. Over weeks, these tiny actions preserve stamina. The home rarely tips into chaos because no single area is ignored long enough to become a mountain of clutter. It's a gentle, almost invisible flow of small tasks that keep the house in a steady state of tidiness. Another subtle barrier that older adults face is the emotional toll of clutter. Objects piled in corners can trigger a sense of unease, reminding you of undone tasks or lingering regrets about items you no longer need but can't discard. That's why the second rule so many tidy seniors uphold is, keep only what brings calm or real utility in your daily life. Past 70, every new object can feel like a burden if it isn't truly helpful or joyful. Do you really need old magazines from 10 years ago? Is it essential to store multiple sets of kitchenware that no one uses? More minimal older adults do periodic micro-purges, not necessarily throwing everything away, but gifting items they rarely touch to neighbors or relatives, or donating them if they're still in good condition. A shelf that once held dusty knickknacks might be pared down to a single photo album or a small vase that lifts the mood. The result is a home that breathes uncluttered surfaces, closets with space for easier access, and a more stable sense of control. It's not about stripping your home of sentimentality, but about focusing on what truly matters in this stage of life. You might keep cherished mementos, but release duplicates or items with no personal story behind them. The payoff is that the simpler your environment, the less time you spend cleaning or organizing, and the more time you have to savor the objects that remain. Reducing clutter in daily life is like removing pebbles from your path, each one representing a small source of stress. Once they're gone, you walk more freely, physically and emotionally. But minimalism alone doesn't keep dust off surfaces or maintain that welcoming aroma in your living room. The third rule older adults swear by is dedicating a short, predictable, tidy window in the day, often in the morning or at twilight, where they handle light cleaning. They might dust the coffee table, pick up random bits of trash or mail, and handle straightforward tasks like watering a plant or fluffing sofa cushions. This daily window usually lasts no more than 10 to 15 minutes. Not enough to sap precious energy, but sufficient to stay on top of routine maintenance. By picking a consistent time, such as right after breakfast or just before winding down at night, they avoid the mental toll of deciding whether to clean now or later, multiple times a day. In that short window, you can also handle small goals like wiping a doorknob, emptying the trash, or giving the bathroom sink a quick rinse. Nothing accumulates, because there's always tomorrow's tidy window if you don't finish everything. For those living alone, this practice fosters a comforting sense of ritual, a moment to connect with your home's rhythms. Some might play soft music or let in a bit of fresh air while tidying, turning the act into a gentle, almost meditative routine. Over time, you might find the rest of the day more relaxed, knowing the basics are handled and that you won't face a massive to-do list on the weekend. This daily tidying also helps seniors catch small problems, like a leak or a broken handle, early, preventing them from escalating into costly repairs. Still, having your environment clean is only part of a peaceful home. A quiet, conflict-free atmosphere is another piece of the puzzle. That's why the fourth rule emphasizes structured communication with family or caregivers to prevent misunderstandings or last-minute chaos. Many older adults who keep a calm household do so by ensuring everyone in it or around it knows the day's or week's plan. Perhaps you have an adult child who visits on Thursdays, or a friend who stops by for coffee. Setting clear times and expectations helps you and them prepare. That might mean making sure the living room is free of extra furniture that impedes their wheelchair, or that the fridge has enough milk for tea if that's your routine. It's not about making huge demands on others, but about ensuring you don't get blindsided by a sudden knock on the door or an urgent phone call that disrupts your entire day. For couples, a short morning chat about who uses the bathroom first or who will start the laundry can prevent minor spats or confusion. Even if you live alone, you might coordinate with a caregiver or a house helper by leaving a small note on the fridge about groceries needed or tasks to address. A tidy home often extends to tidy communication, a sense that everyone is on the same page about daily logistics. This synergy supports a peaceful environment, as you won't be scrambling to move that stack of newspapers the moment someone arrives, or discovering last minute that a caretaker can't make it. The sense of order bleeds from physical space into relationships, preventing stress that can overshadow the calm you've cultivated. Finally, there's a habit that might seem obvious but is frequently overlooked: ensuring that by day's end your main living areas return to a basic state of order. You'll notice older adults with tidy homes rarely go to bed leaving the living room trashed or the dining table covered in used plates. They do a small reset in the evening, folding blankets, throwing away snack wrappers, maybe running a quick vacuum if they track in dirt. This nightly tidy-up ensures that when they wake, they aren't greeted by the prior day's mess. Many seniors say they rest more easily knowing they'll walk into a fresh, welcoming living room in the morning. It also keeps day-to-day tasks manageable because you're never allowing junk to accumulate. If you wait until morning to pick up the previous day's mess, you might already be behind schedule and your day can start in frustration. Instead, older adults let bedtime routines include a 2 or 3 minute pass through the main areas, picking up errant items or wiping a surface. Some might place any out-of-place objects in a small basket to sort the next day. The aim isn't a deep clean but a quick reset. The difference in morning mood can be huge. No stale smells of leftover food, no coffee cups to handle before you can even brew a fresh pot. That immediate sense of calm upon waking can be a powerful emotional lift, especially if you face mobility challenges. It's easier to move around with your walker or cane if the floors are clear. The nightly reset might be the simplest habit to adopt, yet it's the one that yields a daily reward, an unburdened start the next day. Combine these 5 daily rules: small, frequent tasks instead of big cleaning marathons, maintaining only meaningful or useful items, a short and predictable daily tidy window, clear communication with those around you, and a bedtime reset, and your home after 70 can feel surprisingly low maintenance. None of these steps are designed to exhaust you. In fact, they're the opposite. They prevent the dread of big chore sessions and the stress of rummaging through clutter. They also align with the reality that older bodies and minds thrive on gentle, consistent effort, not sporadic bursts of labor. Some seniors remark how these practices free up mental space. They spend less time wrestling with guilt about undone chores or rummaging for lost items. Instead, they use that freed-up energy to read, garden, chat with grandkids, or simply enjoy a peaceful moment by the window. Over months and years, living in a clean, peaceful home also supports better health. You reduce the risk of tripping on clutter, limit dust that can irritate breathing, and maintain a sense of control that wards off anxiety or depression. Of course, life can still throw curveballs. Maybe a sudden visitor arrives, or you encounter a day when you're under the weather and can't manage even the small tasks. In that scenario, these 5 rules act as a buffer. Your home is rarely more than a day or two away from a comfortable baseline, so skipping chores once won't plunge you into chaos. You can simply pick up where you left off once you feel better. This resilience matters as you age because bouncing back from disruptions can be critical to your mental well-being. If you do have a day where clutter piles up, having the established habit of a short daily tidy window or evening reset means you won't feel overwhelmed figuring out how to catch up. You already have a blueprint for how to proceed, turning a potential crisis into a mild inconvenience. It's also worth noting how these 5 rules accommodate changes in living situations. If you downsize to a smaller apartment or share space with a companion, you can keep the same approach, though on a different scale. The principle of tackling tasks in short bursts, storing only essential items, and consistently resetting your environment each evening remains the same. Even if you move into assisted living, these habits help you avoid letting your room or small suite become cluttered or messy. Some older adults, after adopting these routines, discover they have enough confidence to remain in their long-time homes longer because the upkeep no longer overwhelms them. Their environment remains functional and calm, removing the pressure to relocate prematurely. If you're new to this concept, you don't need to perfect all 5 habits overnight. Start by focusing on the easiest step, perhaps that evening reset. Committing just 3 minutes before bed to clear surfaces, toss out trash, and straighten cushions can shift how you greet the morning. Then, in the daytime, practice picking up items right after you use them, or do a mini chore like wiping the bathroom sink after each use. Once you see the difference in how effortlessly your home stays tidy, you might be eager to refine your approach to discarding unneeded items or planning a short, tidy window. Over weeks, these small adjustments become second nature, so you barely feel like you're cleaning at all. Instead, you flow from one quick routine to another, finishing tasks before they accumulate. If you feel some tasks are physically challenging, like vacuuming, consider investing in a lightweight vacuum or a robotic vacuum that roams your floors. Many older adults find that such tools lighten the load enough that they can handle daily upkeep without strain. Meanwhile, the effect on your emotional well-being can be profound. A clutter-free, calm space can be a retreat for resting, reading, or even hosting a friend for tea. You won't fret about last-minute company. You can navigate your space more safely, essential if you use a cane or walker. And the psychological clarity that comes from not seeing piles everywhere can't be overstated. Some older individuals discover that their memory feels sharper or their mood less anxious when the house remains serene. It's as if the external order fosters internal calm, a crucial priority in a stage of life when stress can have more immediate physical consequences. Over time, you might find that a tidy, peaceful home even encourages better sleep, because there's no nagging mental inventory of undone chores. Waking in a stress-free environment every day sets a positive tone for any errands, social engagements, or personal projects you have planned. And if you live with others, these rules also reduce friction. Many arguments in multi-generational households revolve around mess or undone tasks. By distributing small chores across the day, older adults can handle their portion without overexerting, and other household members can follow suit. The clarity of a short, tidy window or a bedtime reset also communicates to everyone that you value a neat environment, inspiring them to pitch in more, or at least not sabotage your efforts. Clear communication about your schedule also helps if, say, your adult children come by to help with groceries or heavy items. They'll know your daily routine so they can coordinate rather than disrupt the flow. Over the weeks, they'll likely appreciate that your home remains comfortable and easy to navigate. Yes, it takes some practice to merge these 5 daily rules into a cohesive system, but the payoff, as many seniors attest, is immense. The sense that your home is truly your refuge, not a burden or a source of stress. Whether you're 70, 80, or 90, you deserve to dwell in a space that feels welcoming each morning and restful each night, without devoting hours to cleaning marathons. With short, continuous routines, your energy remains protected. You can still enjoy reading the newspaper, stepping out for errands, or conversing with visitors. And as the months pass, you might come to see these small daily gestures as a form of self-care, just as essential as having a balanced meal or taking a gentle walk. You realize you're not cleaning for cleaning's sake. You're preserving your peace of mind and ensuring that each day starts and ends on a calm note. So if you felt stuck, overwhelmed by a house that never stays neat, or resigned to living amid scattered clutter, remember that you can shift your environment's energy with minimal, consistent effort. Follow these 5 daily rules. Tackle tasks in small bites. Keep only what's truly needed or cherished. Adopt a short daily tidy time. Communicate your household rhythm clearly, and do a bedtime reset. And watch how your living space transforms. Even if you only manage a portion of the system at first, you might be pleasantly surprised at the results. Over time, these habits become second nature, allowing you to keep a dignified, clean home that suits your stage of life and fosters a bright, gentle atmosphere you can enjoy every day. You'll likely wonder why you waited so long to try it, or how you ever managed to put up with big, exhausting cleaning sessions. But rest assured, it's never too late to bring this calm, effortless approach into your home. By investing a few minutes here and there, you reclaim hours of relaxation and sense of pride in your surroundings. That's a bargain well worth making in your golden years.